these Plotterboos surely loves to jump all over the place over the bridge. Hey everybody, this is me, Sonic the Hedgehog here, and I'm Mario here, and we're back from the Muxy Toys, and welcome back to my Let's Play of New Super Mario Bros. Wii for the Nintendo Wii. So last time we actually did finish the first half of World 8, and today for this episode we're about to continue on and just hopefully finishing World 8 up while actually doing some other levels as we progress through each of the world itself. So even then though, we actually got about a few levels done now, so even then we're pretty much almost there to the airship itself. So yeah, so let's get started here. We're actually going to level 8-4, and we're pretty much go ahead and get into the cavern level as well as the underwater segment level. Because the main premise of this level is very similar to level 2-3, even though you're still wandering in the dark. But in order to actually make it you can see it properly is by using a light block, or you could be a lifesaver for that you can actually grab yourself a fire flower, so that if you constantly shoot these fireballs at any sort of directions, that way though you can see the dark properly. And here we have ourselves a little weird fish enemies. I think this is only introduction to these enemies in the Mario 2D Mario game. So, but yeah, you specifically see them wandering around and they just do nothing. And then if you killed them, you'll probably never see and heard them again. So anyway, the first star coin is pretty obvious in this level. It's by basically going onto the top part of the screen. Well, for the second section of this level is that you can go for the far left, and then that's how you grab it, as you can see from the footage. So anyway, so there's also the second star coin, which was actually a little bit difficult at first glance. If you actually just do this just properly, it'll do it just right. Was the fact that the you know the little bloopers that the enemies might actually have to be come back. In fact, they were there, and because of that, and also the introduction to these little octopus-looking enemies, which somehow lights everything up from the bottom, but except for the top. Although the only time when they actually go up to the top is when they actually finished dipping down from the other point of the level. But anyway. And we have ourselves a superstar, yay! And we got another invincibility star to actually get ourselves a little currency, or mainly some one-up chain or something like that. And I'm pretty sure in here it just gets a one-up, so even then though, we pretty much got every single one-ups throughout. Now, truth be told there is a reason why that we always have Mario's hat off. Because if the thing is though, is that if you actually reach up to 99 lives, this will let Mario's hat will actually go off. But, however, if you actually let your lives decrease up to, like, let's say about 98, which, Mario's hat will come back. So, I guess that makes it obvious, because thanks to the cheats, that's how it's, really worked out for that to be. So here's the third and final section, and this is where the third star coin comes in. And this is probably the trickiest section of the level to me, just because there's a lot of emphasis on these little leaf blowers, or in this case some pipe blowers, always constantly dragging you or taking you to the octopus itself, even though when you get closer to him, he starts to dip down, and then it just makes the lights seems to be more seeable for in the bottom part. But if you dodge that octopus, if you actually grab the third and final star coin, and that's all you're literally trying to do. So there we go. So let's do a triple jump for victoryness. And there we go. Oh right, not too shabby. Alright, that concludes that level. Even though it might be a bit tricky at first, especially star coins wise locations. And here we are to level 8-5, not to be confused that dreadful mini game in Mario Party 2, although it's not that bad of a mini game, but not to be confused as dreaded level 8-5 from Mario Party 2's minigame Coaster. That all you have to do in that particular minigame is the fact that you need to win Lava Tile Isle in order to actually progress. And my god, that minigame is so hard to win. But I digress though. first star coin is pretty simple, just get up to here. So 8-5 in this particular game, we have ourselves another motion control gimmick, but this time, however, in a different obstacle that we're gonna hop into that. If you're actually trying to tilt the Wiimote either left or right, then what happens is that you actually, you know, just move, obviously. So now after doing so, that you know, there's gonna be a lot of emphasis on bob-ombs that will come down from the ceiling or come down from the skies, and as well as some little raising lava bits right there that will constantly raising up. But even then though, we got a checkpoint though. Now unlike the level 8-4, that level 8-4 that does not contain any checkpoints, so yeah, another trickier level if we manage to think about it. Okay, the second star coin, we need to use the bob-omb to toss it to the lava. So it can be a little bit tricky at first grinds if you're actually first time playing it. But once you actually have a co-op buddy with you, mostly Luigi, Yellow Toad, and Blue Toad, that you can actually just press the A button to actually be safe to be in the bubble mode. Now here's what the trickiest part of this level comes in, the vultures right here. You know those vultures from level 7's Ghost House? Well, they're back, but except they are flipping everywhere. So, yeah, a bit difficult though to actually dodge them all at once. So how I suggest you do here is the fact that you might actually try to do a little jumps, or in some cases trying to kill those these crows right there. And if you somehow do that, then that's how you get to it. Or in this case, we managed to bypass these little crows here. And I believe there's the final star coin that we recently grabbed, but I'll basically just reach up to leaps of faith, obviously. And we managed to get hurt, but that's fine, because we're at the end. Because, yeah, as soon as when that platform just stands, in this case stays still, that means the level's over already. So, there we go. Level 8-5 is completed. But even then, though, it will be really difficult if you actually guys play this game for the first time. Mostly the star coin locations, the second one and the third one. So just don't let these the crow parts catch you off guard at the last part. So yeah. Alright, onwards to level 8-6, where I believe, much like the ones in the predecessor, that we're actually gonna be avoiding the lava's rising. So yeah, it's very similar to the likes of level 8-6 in the original New Super Mario Bros. On the DS. But this time, however, just on a Nintendo Wii console. And plus, now I think that this level actually contains 2 different segments. Well, usually the entire gimmick of this level is pretty much exactly the same with the you know, 2 gimmicks all at once. And basically that we have to go all the way up before the lava will start to catch up and just race up. I think this also has the same likes of level 4-Tower as well in the original New Super Mario Bros. Game. Yeah, I suppose you're right. And then here we actually have ourselves a jackhammer platforms. I'm not kidding, that's what they normally calls it there. Because according to New Super Mario Bros. U was. But we'll explain more on that until someone else is gonna, or some other toys will actually gonna do that playthrough, so... I'm quite surprised though that we seem to almost halfway done with finishing the entire portion of the New Super Mario Bros. Series playthroughs, as far as we can consider that. So yeah, the second or the third and final star coin is actually all the way up to the top there. So there you go. So now we can simply just hit up to the red pipe and we can hopefully finish this level up. Well, simply put, just dodge the lava pit right there, because even then though, we're pretty much really good at it. So there we go.
Mario time.
And we got a next level we can deal with is by obtaining the secret exit in level 2 no, not level 2. Level 8-2, well, simply leads us to level 8-7. And because of that though, we're not gonna go into the airship level just yet though. Okay, first things first, let's go do it like a little faster and easiest method, while simply bypass this, the plotter boost, so that you guys saw that enemy course from the previous video. So yeah, here we go, on to level 8-7. Now this is actually probably one of my favorite levels of this world. It's not just a matter of we actually going inside the caverns just like before, but this time in lava pit and everywhere. Now, what's cool about this level right here is the fact that you can actually ride on the flipping bone coaster. I'm not kidding, you actually ride onto those things. Yeah. Although, I don't think these things can harm you. I mean, the only time they're trying to harm you is when they're actually trying to dip down onto the lava pit. So, this is actually really crazy. And especially because of the, in the end part, especially the ending part of this level, was actually really pure chaos. Oh, heck, even especially chaotic. But, we'll explain more on that until we actually get into that. So yeah, a couple of things we also want to mention about something. That, we still managed to actually just to do some uploading videos at the schedule department, but sometimes though, some days ago, that, some other time though, that, our laptop seems to actually get some loading times issues. Oh, there's the first start going right there. It might be a bit difficult to actually time your jumps on that part, because even then, if you fall down to the lava, you have to restart the whole level again. Unless if you found a checkpoint. Speaking of a checkpoint, here we go. Now here's what the fun part comes into play for this level. Whee! Oh, dodge that. Yeah, it's all about dodging every single objects and everything. So I don't think there's any enemies involved in this level though. So all you get is just dangerous hazards like, you know, the lava, the fire spouts, and mostly if you actually try to actually jump too early, or in this case when a coaster starts to get ridiculously fast, especially for that last section too. And I believe this may actually be the last point of the level, so even then though, we not only get one, but two coasters showing up, and because of that, there's the third and final star coin just onto the center. Let's keep on jumping, before we don't get hit by this lava spouts. So here we go, the final finish, whee! What giant leaps of faith that we actually made it come across. So yeah, that was actually really fun. That was actually a pretty fun level, I gotta admit though. I believe out of all the levels we actually been into, Sonic, since we actually first got this back in 2009, this is a level that we haven't discovered in our own time back then. Yeah, but we managed to discover that we actually, in order to actually get to that level, is by, again, finding the secret exit in level 8-2, so just keep that in mind. Alright, onwards to level 8's airship. So we got ourselves a final level to deal with here, and then we can actually save Princess Peach once and for all, and hoping she won't able to be damsel distressed type of gimmick or type of way in the meantime. Yeah. So here we on to this airship for airship level, the level 8 airship level. This is by far one of the difficult airship levels of the game. It's not just a matter of the level layout, it's actually a little bit more, well, too big or something like that. But also there was way too many cannonballs gonna shoot us. And because of that, also not to mention the star coin locations. Even though the first star coin is pretty simple, just simply purchase, you can either do it's like a propeller mushroom, or you can actually just use the hop onto these or jump on a cannonball so that you can actually get yourselves bounced higher up. So yeah, we have these little cannonball things again since Super Mario Bros. 3's airship levels, so at least the cannons might actually try to go ahead and hurt you this time around, even though that is pretty much exactly similar for that regard. Oh, darn it, stupid cannonball here. What's really weird about this is that as soon as you actually come across the that section, you notice that green pipe open to that rotation cannon? Well, apparently that actually, you can actually enter the cannon right here. So yeah, it's pretty weird to actually just get into the pipe like a little secret hideout or something like that. Okay, let's spin the screw here, so just in case we will actually just to progress or proceed. Yeah, the screw things do make a return since, I think last time we did Solos is the fact that I think this was actually from level 1-5 or something? Again, I may be biased. But anyway, in here you get some coins here, so the one we need though is the propeller mushroom, because even then though, that makes the level entirely easier with propeller mushroom, so Let's just say that much. And then we also have ourselves a Mecha Koopas. We haven't seen those Mecha Koopas since World Force airship. So yeah. But even then though, we're pretty much almost done here. So okay. So let's go ahead and fly up here. There's a second star going right between where the Mecha Koopas is. Now, I highly suggest you won't get hurt by those guys because you want to keep that propeller mushroom for later on, and because of that, we might actually save that until we actually just come across into the third and final star coin. Now, you can do this like two different methods so you can actually grab the star coin. One, you can either do this the easier way, like simply put, just grab the propeller mushroom, and then if you actually go to down here, and if you shake the Wii remote up, then you should be able to grab it from the easiest method. Now the hard method is the fact that you need to actually use the Mecha Koopa and then actually just to use the screw at the same time. And then if you do that, if you pull that off, that means you're actually trying to go ahead and toss the Mecha Koopa at the star coin, because much like Koopa shells, that way they'll actually, you know, obtain the star coins for you. And here we go, on to the third encounter with Bowser Jr. And this time, he's not going to use his own Koopa Clown card. Instead, he's going to be using the bigger variation of the Koopa Clown card. Which essentially, that's what belongs to Bowser in this case. So, yeah. The different gimmick for this time around, though, is the fact that rather than just actually go ahead and just fly up, even though that because of that wall is trying to block you from any sort of direction just to hovering from, but instead the entire premise of this gimmick is the fact that we need to actually ground pound the bridge, so that means that will cause the that huge bomb just to bounce up. And taking a note from the final battle from Super Mario World, for instance, if you actually, after when you take damage from Bowser Jr., Bowser Jr. will actually spew out these fireballs onto the ground, as you can see. But even then, though, it sort of feels very similar to the final battle from Super Mario World, but except that, well, almost as kind of intense, though. But and there we go. That concludes the airship level in World 8. So now we can actually save Princess Peach, and then we can get the heck out of here. Yuppity-doo. Oh hey, there's Princess Peach. How's it going, honey? Oh no, I guess Kameka's got kidnapped her. Oh gee, I can never see this coming. It looks like the game wasn't entirely over yet. So does that mean we actually get the second part of World 8? Just like the ones in the original game? Actually, I don't think so, because now we actually come across into the actual Bowser's Castle itself. Oh, so Bowser's responsible for this mess. So, yeah. So what should we do now? Let's just go ahead and save Princess Peach for now, and then we can actually stop Bowser for actually trying to kidnap that Princess Peach. So, anyways, on to the final main level of the game, which was none other than World 8 Bowser's Castle. Or the final castle, it depends on what you want to call it that. And we can simply just get into it. And for this castle, it sort of feels a bit different compared to this predecessors because, you know, the ones in the original game, that the final Bowser's Castle's gimmick is the fact that you could actually go to the different rooms in order to actually just to proceed the, you know, to actually all the way to get to the final battle of the game. But I'm pretty sure in this game that, you're pretty much gonna have to dodge these fire bars as much as you can do. So, even then though, it doesn't have its little, door thing gimmick in this level. I mean, literally, that in the DS version of, or in the DS game, New Super Mario Bros., you have to constantly get into one of those doors. And then just use the question mark switch and then to traverse the room itself. And that way, that will actually lets us to actually just to discover some more secrecy for you know, some other things entirely. So the first star coin is pretty obvious. You just have to time your jumps and whatnot. And apologize for that little lag going on because even then, that happens in most cases. I think it's probably most apparent in New Super Mario Bros. Wii or something like that. So yeah, we really do apologize there, folks, but it's just that we just have to fix this issue or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. It depends. The second star coin is quite tricky though for the most part, because you have to hop onto these little platforms, and if you stepped on one of those, that will actually just let these platforms to dip down. And however, we don't actually accidentally touch the lava pit, because even then, if you somehow touch the lava pit, you probably have to go all the way back to the beginning of the level for you. So, yeah. And you just gotta have to be very careful for the time for that. And it looks like we don't have ourselves a third and final star coin yet. Oh gee, I wonder where that could be. But anyway, right off the bat though, we actually got ourselves a midway point, which is nice. And it's also really awesome is that you can actually get a midway point after when you enter the big green door over there. Which actually, I believe this actually waits us to Bowser himself. You know, just like how it does in the original New Super Mario Bros. When there was like 2 slotted doors. So, here we go, on to the final boss of the game, which was none other than Bowser. So, even then though, that since back in the original New Super Mario Bros. On the DS, that the first world's boss fight, it was none other than Bowser, but even then, he was pathetically easy. Especially when there's like a platform right behind Mario or Luigi, it depends on what character you select. And taking a note from the original Super Mario Bros. Style fight, that you, in order to actually defeat him, is simply put, just run underneath him and press that exclamation mark switch and you'll be good to go. So there we go. So now we can actually free Princess Peach out of the cage so that we can actually finish New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and we pretty much guarantee it that... Wait a minute. Oh crud, I forgot. Kamek's disguising himself into Princess Peach. So, Kamek, you must have tricked us. And guess what he was gonna use the spell on? Oh my god, Bowser's huge! Yeah, just like how it does in Super Mario Galaxy 2 as well. But except that in Super Mario Galaxy 2, that what makes Bowser so giant is the fact that I think he might actually steal some Grand Stars and something like that. But I'm guessing in this game that he actually uses Kamek's using a spell on Bowser to make himself grow bigger. So I guess that makes the point. You know, just like how it does it back in Yoshi's Island in Super Mario World. Oh, I guess the final star coin is actually located where the final battle is located. Okay, that's pretty odd decision, but hey, at least we'll take it, I suppose. So basically the main premise of this little chase sequence is the fact that we can't deal damage with him because obviously I think he was actually temporarily invincible. So what you're supposed to do in this particular sequence is the fact that we have to get away from Bowser. And basically we occasionally do some platforming such, and basically that we have to dodge the lava because as you can expect it, if you actually come across into that particular point, if you actually accidentally touch the lava, you have to redo the whole fight again. However, if you die on the final boss again, that if you somehow die in the final battle with Bowser, that will actually let the scene where Kamek is actually disguising as Princess Peach was actually no longer there. So, oh, here's the real Princess Peach, so let's go ahead and press that big button, and we've finished Bowser once and for all. So you're too late, Bowser. So, you're pretty much done. And somehow it'll just let Bowser just gets crumbled down or something like that. His eyebrows are really look realistic though, when it comes to lighting effect or something like that. And there you go, folks, that was it. The New Super Mario Bros. Wii's main campaign, or in this case, 8 main worlds of the game. So, yeah, we're pretty much done here. So, yeah, it's pretty tense though, kind of think about it. At least to me, anyway. So anyway, we rescued Princess Peach for, let's say about the 6th time at this point in the 2D Mario department, because even then though, although technically Super Mario Bros. Lost Levels, does it count? I'm pretty sure, yeah. Yeah, it's probably the 6th time that Mario's gonna save Princess Peach since then. And we're gonna say ending cinematic. And here's these 2 Toads and Luigi just using a hot air balloon. I'm not exactly sure why that got them in the first place. I think they probably just go ahead and sneak into the Bowser's castle itself. And then they just actually find a secret room that it contains hot air balloons storage. I'm guessing that's what I was gonna think of. Oh, poor Luigi, he's all alone. But at least these two toads wants to let him hop in. Oh Mario, did I ever tell you about that secret world? Well, I don't know what the secret world is in this game, even though we remember that since in Super Mario World, the special world in Super Mario World will have to be both Star Road and another which was actually the special zone. So, does that mean that we actually got ourselves a secret special world in this game as well? I guess we'll just have to find out, but, yeah. So overall of New Super Mario Bros. Wii, that we actually really enjoyed this game, even though that we pretty much haven't done with the game, so I'm guessing the special world does exist. So I'm pretty sure that's what we can do here. So well, yeah, what's cool about this staff credit sequence is that you can actually break as many blocks as you can while collecting those coins in the process. It also does that in during the future installments as well. But even then though, we'll explain, the other toys will explain more on those until when they decide to do those games. So anyway, so especially if you're actually using this on 4-player co-op, that it will make this sequence a bit of a tense side, just to see if the competition who actually gets the most coins at the end wins. So that's pretty interesting to say for that. So yeah, as far as where we actually gonna hit the impressions of this game, I think I really love this game. Probably my 6th favorite Mario game on my second, my 6th favorite Nintendo Wii game, or probably the 9th, probably the 9th spot in my Nintendo Wii's games awards to me. And this game does have an introduction to the new power-ups, such as like the propeller mushroom, and as well as the penguin surge, which I think is really, really cool by the look of it. And as well as that though, this game actually, for the first time in the Mario debut, is actually featuring the 4-player co-op and adventure. So that's actually pretty cool to say for that, at least. But even then though, that originally we're supposed to finish this playthrough during the old version of the game's playthrough, but it was cancelled though. But anyway, at least that's a good thing that we actually did this game as a redo playthrough, just because of the how better the sound quality works. Because the only problem with the old version, especially Super Smash Bros. Brawl, but it's no longer there at this time, is the fact that the sound, as far as the actual sound mixing, is a bit too loud for my taste. So even then though, that your ears might start to bleed every once in a while. So that's why we decided to go ahead and do this game again, but this time in much steady audio and the sounding department, and that's all we essentially gonna say about it. So yeah, the only negative things that we must think of is the fact that that some of the star coins locations, especially level 7-4 tower, as well as the ones in level 8-5, is a little bit too off, but at the same time, they're not that hard to find. And as well as that though, the level themes are exactly the same. It doesn't change the actual, or it doesn't have the different environments like the New York City or something like that. But apart from those negatives, you should definitely recommend this game. Luckily though, you can actually now download this on Nintendo Wii U's eShop, so that you can actually get it.
Oh, yeah!
So yeah, there we go. That's how the credit sequence of you can do that. You can mess around with the brick blocks and collect as many coins as you can.
Oh, yeah.
So here we are at that scene where Larry's seems to become weak. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Yeah, especially how huge giant Bowser's castle was. Even then though, Bowser might get himself a painful back any minute. And I guess Special World does exist. So, yeah, this playthrough wasn't entirely done yet, but we'll explain more on those until we actually get into next time. So, tune in next time on Let's Play New Super Mario Bros. Wii, is that we're actually going to try to start to do World 9, so that World 9 will actually be the special world of the game. And as you can see, we actually got 3 sparkling stars on our file. We'll explain it onto those until we actually get into the next video. So see you guys next time. Later, fellas. See you guys then. See ya.